spiritual possession gives power to the negotiate, prevailing conventions of gender, sexuality, and female agency. In Nazari's life, her role as a zealodor interfered with her role as Nilmar's wife. The normative hierarchy within the family had been intervened, and now her husband came last. Pombagira offers devotees a set of socially recognized resources to challenge these structures within the limited context of their own lives. For example, helping Nazari's client win her husband back from his philandering, or helping a male client get a job back. Eventually, through the constant complications in Nazari's home, between the power struggle of being a spiritual guide to the community and a wife at home, they replaced the husband-wife hierarchy of authority in separate spheres for a reciprocal relationship of brother and sister with horizontal ties. There is a three-way relationship of male villain, female victim, and spiritual protector, which is an important feature of a woman's relationship with Pombagira. Pombagira becomes the pivot for a profound reorganization of the power relations within a couple, allowing women to act on the fact that treachery and violence of a man in their life. For example, most of Nazari's clients were women who sought solutions for their domestic discord to get their husbands back from another woman.
The logic that governs devotees' interactions with exu-spirits is the very same logic that governs exchange with modern capitalistic economies, which is self-maximizing commercial exchange. Exu-spirits appeal primarily to individuals who are systematically disadvantaged within the structure of social hierarchies that grant access to valued social resources in Brazil. While Brazilians who are favored with wealth or high social positions are able to use those privileges to overcome obstacles they face, devotees of Exu and Pombagira spirits attempt to do the same through their exchanges with the entities. Exu spirits can be identified with engaging with the flows of power and material wealth that have accompanied Brazil's transformation from a largely farming nation to one of the world's largest capitalist economies. Contracted for specific works on a fee-for-service basis, Exu spirits are participants in transactions that embody the logic of the marketplace and a model of spirit-human relations based on commodified exchanges with an alienated labor force. This refers to the relationship between the Exus and the Oriaxes, where the Exus are the slaves of Oriaxes that carry out the services that these high-up entities will not. The Exu spirits are an expression of the worldview that sees capitalism as a zero-sum game, where one person's profit results in another person's loss. Thus, when one person is suffering, it signals that another must be benefiting from their suffering, which is what they call a demanda.
By continually serving the spirits, it is believed that the spirits will look out for Nazari and her family. In addition, she can draw on their powers to benefit others. For example, in Malamba's final revenge, Malamba warns her about the mistress maid and Nilmar.
Although spirits are described as the spirits of people who once lived, they are not the spirits of particular spirits of individuals known to the mediums in real life. Rather, they are archetypal representations of street folk, Indians, African slaves, gypsies, and other social, salient character types that pertain to popular memory. Spiritual entities thus represent celebrated folkloric figures or independent anti-heroes who occupy inferior positions in relationship to the ruling white elite. They aren't faithful representations of actual human beings, but a product of national mythologizing process through which certain folkloric figures are embedded with popular virtues and invested with supernatural powers. A demanda refers to the deployment of these spirits in acts of musical warfare against a human adversary. A demand is an example of individual agency in a time of corrupt moral order in Afro-Brazilian culture. Practitioners always talk about their involvement in spiritual conflict as a form of defense or protection against the mystical aggression of others, but they would never enact a demanda against someone unless the spirit told them that they deserved it. With this perspective as to what a demanda is, we can also see that it itself is a representation of an attempt to express the practitioner's sense of inhabiting a world that has lost its moral compass, where the institutional structure that enforces moral order has been perverted, leaving individuals to fend for themselves.
Gender, capitalism, benefits and sacrifices, and spiritual representations of everyday life and historical figures are all reflected in Afro-Brazilian religion, which relates to Durkheim's elementary forms of religious life argument that religion is a natural expression of society and is transcendental power, as well as performing the function of social and moral cohesion within Afro-Brazilian culture.